Hi Instagram, hi YouTube. This is Heidi from HMLSTUDIO. It's my first time doing a live, so bear with me. This is an experience. I've never done this before, so this should be quite interesting. So basically, HMLSTUDIO is about flexibility with how you could use the yarn and manipulate it in different ways, and its ability to create a lot of different pieces. So I have built a love for crochet. So anyway, before we go ahead, continue in greater length, just want to say also thank you to Renegade Fair. It's a great pleasure to be part of this. I've been a fan of Renegade for a long time, and to finally be part of like a live, even though I wish I could have done like the actual event, but we'll wait till next year when all the things kind of come down. But so yeah, Renegade Fair, Renegade Virtual Fair, thank you for inviting me to this event. So I basically started doing crochet back in high school, and it was taught in one of my fibers class, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so great, I love this. And but it was very basic, like making hats and making like basically like scarves or belts that were fun, and I just got into it. It was just something that was just so flexible, and I love the fluidity. And I tried knitting, but I was just like, it's not working for me. So I kind of put that aside, and then when I went to school, in the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, in the fashion department, great experience. You know, we were learning, you know, the basics of sewing and designing, and then senior year, actually that summer of 2009, my family and I went to Washington Island in Wisconsin. I love the place. I am very much about nature. When we were biking around Washington Island, we ran into this old cabin, and we went into it, and on the wall there was this antique crochet piece that they had displayed, and I was just like, whoa, this is really cool. So I memorized this piece and then continued with my vacation, relaxed, enjoyed, la da da. And then on the fall, when we returned back to school, we were asked to develop our senior collection. So I kind of like started to look into that, and then I decided to bring some Frank Lloyd Wright concept into that collection. It's a architect that I am very much a fan of because of his connection with nature, the way he designs, the way he makes his spaces nature related. I thought of traditional garbs, like, you know, thinking way back in high school when I went to Mexico, and we saw these guys flying off of this long wooden stick, and they would hang by their feet, and they would like spin, and they would wear all of these decorative ornaments in their clothes as a form of traditional celebration. And I was just like, I need to add this, so that was added to that collection. Also the study of the fibers, so, you know, utilizing multiple different length of yarn, different style of yarns. I was very fascinated with that as well. So, you know, so here I am just like putting all these ideas together and just like, oh my god, this is such a big idea. But I put it in a presentation board and represented that concept to my class, and they were like, now that, my dear, is a good idea. So there I was. I started to like bring in like all these different yarns and everything, and finding fabrics, and I was very, very focused on using natural fibers, because natural fibers, there's so much, they're much more flexible, and they're soft, and they have characters, because I feel like sometimes synthetic fibers they look dead. and also focused on not using a lot of color, because I think when you use too much color you lose the character of the fiber, or of the piece that you're making. So that was another thing that I was thinking about. So trying to keep it simple but traditional, and then having some costume-ish aspect to it. So it came together, and then when the collection was complete, I was very thrilled about the outcome. And I've got two of the main pieces with me. The big statement dress that was originally my big piece got sold, which I was very thrilled about. I was not anticipating to sell it because I was going to keep it as an archive, but you know, when this woman came in, I'm not going to say her name, keep it private. As soon as she wore it, I felt like it was her. She owns this look, and I was just so thrilled. And actually, I have the dress here. My beautiful dress that I love so much. It was very special. I was very pleased that she got it. I have the other dress here, as you can see here on Instagram. This beautiful dress. So this entire top is all hand crocheted, and I'm gonna just pivot the camera so you guys can see it actually live, because you know, gotta see the real deal. So here it is. So that is the second main dress that was in the fashion show. So basically everything is all hand crocheted. All of these pieces is leather that I've like cut and sewn and crocheted together with these extra little metallic piece. It's kind of like a belt, like a strength belt, you know, for having confidence and things like that. And then just a simple crochet chains, and then on top of it I like crocheted like a finer yarn, just to make it, you know, kind of have more of a story. You can see a little bit more of like the Frank Lloyd Wright influence, like the stained glasses that he does. He has this beautiful one that are like kind of like leaves. So I was just like, I need to use this kind of visual experience in this piece. So that was it. And then kind of just finishing with the dark green line. And there was another piece where I mostly focused on the top and the crochet piece in here, Instagram. Here you go. So this is the other top that was more like simple casual kind of look. So this is the top that was with it. And as you can see, it's all, again, hand crochets with different kind of fibers. So I use like alpaca fiber, and then basic kind of cotton fibers and stuff like that, and just kind of integrated both of those fibers all together and just make this wonderful top, which I absolutely adore. But I will never wear it because it's so precious. I wanted to keep it for a lifetime. So yeah, so the next like 2, 3, 4 years I was kind of like searching what to do with crochet. Sure, it's great to make wonderful garments like I've done in the past, that I was very, very proud of, but I had to think in practical terms. So this is the binray. What this was basically, for years I was trying to look for a hat during winter time. And the problem is that all the hats that are made these days are really, really, really tiny. And I am not a fan of that. So what I decided to do is like, oh, well, I know how to crochet, and I might as well make my own. Actually, I do have the original hat here as well. Hold another minute. I will be right back. I'm back. I'm back. Hello. Alright, so basically, I was just fed up of having such a hard time finding a beautiful hat that I could wear, feel comfortable with, which is why I created the binray, which is a cross between a beanie and a beret, because I like the French little tilty thing jiggy that goes on your head, and then also the beanie because the beanie keeps your ears warm, which is great. I will assemble it for y'all to see. So this is the original beanie. Here, makeup stain, that works. Alright, so basically, here is the original beanie. So that was what I initially made, and I have to say, my ears were really happy once I wore this. So, nobody likes to have cold ears. So, that was the start. And you can see I've got my little label, HMLSTUDIO. So, and then this one goes like that. And then just kind of, I always kind of like to put it on the side because it's a bin right. You have to put it on the side because it just makes it so much better. So what I will do is turn around and get you guys a look of how it looks like. And I'm going to continue with that, but because it's spring and summer, we're going to put that on hold for the time being because I've got to think about summer and spring, y'all. So I somehow landed on hemp, or the cousin to marijuana, but as a plant form, as a fiber, and it's stronger than cotton, grows faster, a lot stronger than cotton and all those other cores that exist. This came to be. This is all 100% hemp. How this came to be is I absolutely love circles. Circles is my jam, and this is one of those little guys over here. Another thing about hemp that's very interesting, it might be really strong, but it is extremely light. For those with sensitive ears or don't like to have weight, you know, this is a great piece. And it's simple. Look at that. It's just a circle and like little stripes. It's just like, how cool is that? It's simple, minimalist. I love it. I was kind of like, okay, it's great to make patterns and everything, but what about kind of like a more simpler, go even more simpler with the concept. So there's this little guy over here. And actually I adore this piece. I'm actually wearing this tomorrow. Is this washable? What I would recommend if it gets a little dirty, because it's life, is definitely use soap and water and maybe use like a toothbrush. Because this stuff is pretty delicate to some extent, but just like it would go dig in the fiber a little bit just to wash the gunk out. Lay it flat and let it sit and dry. What's great about hemp is going to last a long time. So because the fiber is so strong, the durability is gonna last a while. And when I think about HMLSTUDIO, I think about lasting for a long time. I absolutely love doing what I do. The time that I put into it, the research, the listening to music just to get motivated to make it happen. So yeah, HMLSTUDIO is all about building new traditions and being sustainable, being appreciative of the small little things in life, and